Joining me tonight in the booth, we've got Kalsu Baloo. How's it going, Kalsu?
Hello! I'm happy to be here.
And I'm happy to have you. This is your first time calling Final Fantasy Randomizer Seed, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It should hopefully be okay. I've done casting before, just not for FFR. And hey, you know what? We have it looks like all of the job setups up.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'm seeing... Let's see, a Mage Rainbow. I'm seeing a Black Belt Rainbow. I'm seeing Black Belt Fighter 2 Reds, Black Belt Fighter Black White, and Black Belt Fighter Red Black.
So a lot of black belts. I don't recall. I probably should have looked it up ahead of time. That would have been smart. What was the XP percentage in this seed?
That is in a window that I don't have pulled up. One moment. 2.5 times and plus 5% per key item, so...
Well, that would be why we are seeing so many black belts, then.
Well, it's also forced.
That is true. But, I mean, you can dump... How? Yeah. Don't. It's easy to forget small things when you're not looking at the seed.
Yeah, and I believe that these are actually some of the ideas that are being thrown around for our spring tournament. I'm going to go ahead and let the runners go, and we'll take it from...
We might see some potential 3-man strats from Crystal or Saint Von Jester. I don't think we will see those from the... Oh, wait. There is the All-Dan seed, so of course someone is probably going to die.
Yeah, well, One Fine Day is one of the runners who tends to favor 3-man, and sometimes even 2-man if he can get away with its strats, so... Judging by the fact he didn't bring a red with him, I'm thinking at best we'll see a 3-man out of him. But Crystal I could also see just dumping the black belt and going 3-man with that party configuration.
Yeah, none of these strike me as totally, oh hey, I think we've started.
We have. So yeah, that's an interesting play you don't see very often, people checking the weapon shop. I believe the reason for that is... no, there is no reason for that. I think they just wanted to go ahead and see what their options were at fighter, but that is a strong black magic level.
And the white magic has life at level 1, but it is white mage lock.
Yeah, however, after class change, it's going to be available to all of the white casters in that 4th slot. So...
That is true, but with Monk in the first seed of everyone, I'm wondering how many people even consider taking the class change.
It depends on if they plan to make use of the black belt. With the XP we've got, black belt is definitely strong, but... definitely not the strongest well, okay. Black belt is definitely a good option, but it's not the only option.
For sure. Looks like everyone's heading straight up to Topher, which is pretty standard. In fact, is essential on this seed, as there is no bridge.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Imps have fire too today.
That is both... That makes for an interesting walk, that's for sure.
I hope you know your encounter manipulation strats, folks, because otherwise you're gonna have a bad time.
And I don't think there were any tents in the shop either. At least I didn't see anyone use any. There's the bridge. As you would expect, it's in one of the 3 possible places it could be. What do you think Garland will do?
Die quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty par for the course, but he did seem to hit pretty hard.
Yeah, but it's still Garland. Alright, so we've got the canoe, and the ship. So, Hi everyone, welcome to No One Setting Foot on the northern half of the southern continent ever again.
Yep. That's for sure. And you say that, but with a seed like this, if it was, if Garland had an AoE, it would be big, serious trouble.
It would be, but the thing is with that zap available at first level, it's literally, okay, Garland, you got the jump on me once.
Okay, that's fair.
Once.
Oh, speaking of get the jump on you, the Great Imps are no joke.
I think those were just regular imps, but Sawny's running with a palette swap.
Oh, okay.
Although, for all we know, Gur-imps could have rolled Nuke tonight. On Medusa script.
I'd believe it.
I'm a strong supporter of Nuke on Medusa script. In fact, if any devs are listening, I wouldn't be opposed to that being a flag.
Just the nuke flag, it gives half of the encounter scripts nuke.
Oh no! Just force Nuke to the Medusa script.
I mean, yeah, like I could definitely get behind that, but I feel like if you're gonna do that, you should double down on it. Like, give Nuke to Pirate. Speaking of Pirate.
Yeah. Also, sorry to cut you off real quick. I'm going to point out SVJ and OFD have both already opted to kill that black belt.
Mm-hmm. They have indeed. And I don't think we mentioned this before, but I saw gold armlets in Cornea for a pretty reasonable price.
Oh, look, there's the floater.
Oh,
hey, folks,
wow.
I hope you like jet seeds, because I think we might be in one.
There are still potentially 3 loose items, so they might go really fast and full clear everything. Those 2 options are not even mutually exclusive in this seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, everyone brought plenty of black magic casting, and with those sweepers at first level, they're going to be casting a lot of black magic. And,
Level 2, life 2.
And heal 3. Not necessarily something you're going to, necessarily want to cast over life 2, but you're going to have plenty of second level shots, and you got that life at level 1, so...
For sure. Helps healing before Bleach will speed up a bit.
Oh hey, I missed that those pirates have stun touch.
Oh wow, I missed that as well. That could have been a nasty pirate.
Yeah, fortunately they're still pirates.
Fortunately, indeed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've got Mr. Bus Driver over in chat calling for the Rod and Marsh Cave, in the key lock chest, and the key is in mermaids.
Oh, that is awful. Also impossible.
No, it's doable.
We do not have, this seed does not have randomized objective fetch quest item. So the key will always be at the end of the fetch quest. I suppose the crown could be in, but the key cannot be.
I missed that. Good eye, Kausu.
Oh, you know what? It would be loose in mermaid as well. That would be terrific. I kind of want to see that now.
Well, either way, we've got folks making that quick trip down to the southern half of the southern continent to go ahead and take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the old men today have the adamant, and for those of you who are fans of Confused Old Men, yeah, it's not happening today. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And because the objective NPCs are not randomized, that adamant will always turn into an Excalibur. So anyone who wants to go Rat Tail Knight, and we have 2 different people who are planning on that for sure, then, well, they're in a good place.
I am honestly going to be shocked if we don't see a runner, at least in Topher, by the hour mark at the pace that we're going right now. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now. Like, it's going to take some stupidly trolly loose item locations to basically kill momentum at this point.
Yep, I would have to agree with you on that. Are those two-man strats?
It's entirely possible. Like I said, well, no, never mind. There we go. They just picked that red mage up. Yeah, that Saint Von Chester is basically running a Hydra right now. He's got two. Well, no, he's got two black magic casters that also have life 2, being protected by a fighter. That is going to be brutal.
There's Cure 4, white mage only.
Yeah, but you already have the best healing spell in the game.
But you could get the other best healing spell.
Well, we haven't seen Lamp yet, so no.
Lamp is not a healing spell.
Yes, it is. It heals dark.
You know what? We'll just agree to disagree on this.
Fine. But yeah,
Oh, and there's Warp and Temper.
Okay, Danny, I know you can hear me right now. What is this garbage? What is this seed that you have rolled that's just handing the runners everything they need?
Well, to be fair, one thing that is not handing them is money. Oh, you know what? I think Saint Von Jester didn't realize that the Adamantite was not randomized. Otherwise, I don't imagine he would have went to pick up that the Excalibur right now.
It's a quick check. There's 2 chests right next to it. I can see it. Also, for those of you who are pulling for that mermaid's dive, there's the bottle, and we already have an airship and the canoe.
And bottle will always go to, I want to say Oxyale?
Oxyale, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying is, right now, we have mermaid's access.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And with I believe we have Ice 3 at level 1 and Lit 3 at level 2, so if anyone's in the mood to play some rocket tag on the way to mermaids, then they've got everything they need to make that attempt. I think we also have Fire 3, so yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think we've seen all 3 level 3 elemental spells.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that would look at that and go, you know what? Why not? Let's get some free experience and go dive mermaids real quick.
Well, the reason why not is because without key, diving mermaids is potentially a double death.
You're assuming that I ever look at TFC if I can help it. Spoiler warning, I don't.
I mean, neither do I, to be honest, but it is there.
It is there, but until the devs stop being lazy and make it an incentive location, it's a marginal threat.
Oh, you know what? That would be awful, and I wanted to put more key lock incentives.
Ah, so I see you too can be recruited into the Cult of the Inconveniences tab.
I mean, I'm not into all of them, but sometimes you just hear something and you go, yes, I want that. Especially in seeds that I'm not running.
Alright, well, it looks like SVJ is at least going to go ahead and collect that Oxyale. I don't know if that's indicating that he's planning to go ahead and make the expedition out to Onrak, but he's at least getting it off his list.
Fast was level 7. I don't recall which level 7 black spell that red mages can purchase. I know there's only one.
It's the top spell in Gaia.
Okay, that is red wizard accessible then.
Yeah, the easy way to remember it. Onrak might be black, but it's not.
Okay then.
Ease of remembering the mnemonic may vary depending on your woadiness.
Oh, wait. Danny has just said that there's a loose flute, but I did not.
It was in Matoya's cave. I caught it out of the corner of my eye, but I was too busy looking at everything else.
Okay. So, Matoya's cave is like an ideal spot for a loose item, I feel. It's something you usually check pretty quickly because it's a very fast check. That is one loose down, but there's still 2 to go, though, so we can still potentially get some pretty trolly loose locations.
At the rate this seed's going, no, we're not. The other 2 loose items, one of them's going to be in the greed chests on the way down to Kraken, and the other one's going to be, I don't know, in Waterfall Cave.
Look, you gotta hope, okay? And who knows? Maybe Sharknado Room will deal some damage.
Yeah, except... Well, speaking of causing damage, I didn't see what those zombies just did to Sonny Rath's party, but it did not look like it was very pleasant for anyone.
Oh wow, Peninsula of Power Grind. You don't see that very often.
I mean, in a situation where you have that early an airship and that much killing power, that's not a bad move to go ahead and get that power up, especially when you have access to something like Sea Shrine right off the bat.
For sure, it is definitely not a bad move. It's just an unusual one. And SVJ... unusual is interesting.
Yeah, SVJ, meanwhile, going ahead and going for ordeals. I like this move, too.
Mm-hmm. If ordeals is nasty, then you can usually run away from it, pretty much everything in it. And if it's not, then you can do your grinding while also getting some progression potential.
I like the way you think. Like, that is my preferred move, is to try and get an ordeals as early as I can and basically mop up the enemies there, because if you take pretty much every fight you can in ordeals, you're gonna come out of there around level 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm. And with early warp as well, it's not too big a pain to get through it. Although at these levels, I'm not sure you can use that warp very much.
Level 9, yeah, I think we're still a little bit shy of the levels needed to really get a lot of warps.
I mean, most of the time, you only need 1 or 2.
I don't know what kind of pillar mazes you're getting, but I think I hate you a little bit.
If I only go back a couple of spaces, I don't care. I just go back through it. The only one where it's really annoying is with the 4-room one.
Yeah, and it's always the last one I check in the 4-room one, and I wind up being out of warps trying to find the right way. Speaking of trying to find the right way, though, Sonny has decided to go to Marsh Cave.
That is probably something that a lot of people are going to avoid until later if they can help it.
Yeah, it's Marsh Cave.
I mean, yeah, it's Marsh Cave. It's awful. But also, if there is a loose item in there, then it could give Sonny a big advantage.
And it is incentivized, so I guess you do probably have to come here.
I mean, having said that, I can't think of anything in here, in the incentive, that would really help. Oh, no, wait, I know. If it's the crown, then it could give Sonny a big lead. Otherwise, I don't think the incentive really does that much here. You already have airship.
Well, we do still need Chime, we still need Cube, we still need Rod. So it's one of those things, like, there's at least a lot of, progression that could be locked away here. And if Sonny's not in the mood to make that Sea Shrine play, then it might be worthwhile to go ahead and do this.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and Crab Cakes down in chat also pointing out that Tail could be here, and while that's not necessarily as helpful to Sonny...
That is a good point I hadn't considered. It can't be Cube, as our lovely tracker has pointed out. The Cube is for sale in Crescent. But the tail for sure could give anyone who, other than Sonny, and even maybe Sonny, a serious competitive advantage.
Well, even for Sonny, finding the tail means being able to speed up that black belt grind.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are playing with plus 5% plus 5% progressive XP per key item. So that racks up quick.
Very true.
Also, SVJ is having a dickens of a time here in ordeals.
Yeah, he is. And Tristal is having a similar dickens of time with Waterfall. Speaking of Waterfall, you may notice that it looks a little different from what you may remember. Oh, hey! Tail. But Waterfall.
The irony here of the only person on stream who still has a living black belt being the first person to find the tail in a place most people aren't going to go.
I know, right? It's great. But yeah, you'll notice that Waterfall looks a little different than you may remember. That is because we have a one of the features of the randomizer dynamically generates the layout of Waterfall. And we have it for a few other rooms as well, but Waterfall is the one that works really well. So we use it a lot because it's great.
Sorry, I don't know if you caught what happened to SVJ. He found the warp that takes you all the way back to the entrance.
Oh no. Yeah, that one, that is what I saved my last warp for.
I don't think he has any. Like, I think I saw him check his magic, and even after gaining levels, he still didn't have any level 4 slots on his mages.
I want to say the red mage get level 4 at 13. It's somewhere around there. And his levels are certainly below 13.
Yeah. So, well, he also reset out. I guess because he figured he needed the HP and the spells he burnt getting that far more than he needed the experience.
Honestly, I don't think it's a bad call. It looks like One Fine Day has made it through the Pillar Maze, though.
And the robot had the ruby.
Well, ruby is basically a wasted item in the seed. Unless there's a loose in Titan, then it's pretty useless.
But that is an opal gauntlet and dragon armor in the chests. So if Tristal gets his hands on that tail, he is in a really good place as far as defense goes.
Those boxes were great. It's just the key item that wasn't particularly useful. And Rod is in ordeals.
You never know, the Titan's basement might have something nice.
Okay, you know what, fair enough.
I mean, it won't, but it might.
Maybe there will be a ribbon in there, you never know.
Also, I didn't see which of the things that Tristal's fighting has glare. It looked like it was the Hydra. Yep, it's the Hydra.
Oof.
Good thing we have the floater, so we get to avoid most of the possible Hydra fights.
Okay. Yeah, no kidding. It looks like St. Von Jester wiped inside of Ordeals again, and they appear to be grinding outside.
I can't blame him. He's close enough to getting those warp charges to where it's worth the trouble.
Or maybe they're just cycling some encounter tables.
Could also be that.
Either way.
Because with... let's make sure I'm not crazy. Yeah, we did not shuffle unrunnable formations in these flags. So he may just be trying to manipulate past all those Zombull fights. Because I think that's what's been killing his resources.
I remember that. Oh, you know what? That's going to probably incentivize people to go into Topher at a little higher level than they would normally as well. All of the 3-man strats might be thinking twice once they get to Topher, and they can't run away from anything.
I mean, on the flip side, it's not like the black belt was going to help with that.
Fair.
The black belt is great at many things. None of them are showing his back to the enemy. Anyway, the Titan's basement sucked.
As expected.
But Tristal is going to find that tail here in a minute, so...
And then we
That's
will have our
exciting.
first promotion, probably, shortly after.
Well, yeah, he's below level 15 still, and he's got that X-Cal in the bank. There's no way he doesn't go ahead and invest.
Mm-hmm. Excalibur is... Well, in terms of raw damage, I think it is second only to the Masamune. Once crit rates are factored in, I think the Katana might actually be better.
It's one of those things, in terms of per hit damage, I think the X-Cal still has a slight edge just because it's a knight swinging it, and so you have that strength bonus, but the Katana has that crit rate on it, and also I think a better actual hit rate than the X-Cal.
Hold on a sec. One Fine Day found the crown in Earth 1.
Oh, Lord, this is going to be a race. So that's 2 of our loose items already.
Yep. What else is... I mean, there's a bunch of things that are left that could potentially be loose. Could be... I guess at this point, probably the Chime.
Chime would probably be the... Well, alright, if you're these runners, I think Chime is the thing you want to be loose.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that means you're not having to worry about searching Mirage and Sky to find
Actually,
whatever your last loose item is.
I think the ideal loose would be the TNT, because the TNT just gives a cabin in the...
Yeah, also
Without
Crabcakes just
Rando.
pointed out that Chime was in ice, and I was not looking in Sonny's direction when he
Okay.
found it, so...
None of us saw that. None of the people watching the stream, anyway.
Well, Crabcakes is
I'm-
watching the stream, and she saw it.
Stream Did. No, I said that wrong. No one commented the stream, including our lovely tracker, I should add. So it's not just our fault.
Well, there's a lot happening all over the place.
There absolutely is, and you know what? Half of the things that we've said we've only been able to say because our lovely tracker told us that they happened.
Yeah,
One Final Day has... No, they don't. They're checking the ice. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Thor's Hammer.
he is raiding all of the key locked locations right now. Now that he's got that key, so
I happen to be honest. I just see someone go down there and I just assume they have TND. But you know what? They One Fine Day, rather, found the opal armlet.
no, that is a solid find. But yeah, just as we anticipated, we have Tristal going to go turn in that tail right away.
We sure do. So it's looking like TNT is the loose item. The third loose. Which, like I said, I think is ideal. You can, if it is, then you can just ignore it.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's see, we've got Rod, we've got Chime, we've got Oxyale, we've got Cube, or at least we know how to get all of those. Let's see, we don't need anything. We've got key. Yeah, no, we've got everything we need to finish the game, except levels and potentially gear.
We haven't seen Slab either, have we?
No,
No,
that was what was in Ice Cave.
Right, and then Slab always goes to Chime. Right.
Right. So yeah, no. At this point, we are we're in no mode, to borrow the nomenclature from elsewhere. It's just a matter of which runner pieces everything together first, and then proceeds to make a dead sprint through the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. Right now, the person closest to that, I would say, is probably Sonny.
I'd say, well, yeah, either Sonny or One Fine Day. Because One Fine Day, once he goes to Ice Cave, he's gonna have pretty much all the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And because that crown was in Earth 1, and everything is open except key-locked locations because of that, it's entirely possible that that crown's going to be the last thing a lot of people find, and they're going to be looking in a lot of places for it.
Yeah, that's very true. The Broad as well was in Ordeal, so probably no one's going to want to go to Earth until they've been there. And, wow, this... I don't know what I was saying at the beginning. You were right. This is going to be a fast seed.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things, if the loose items had been trolly, that definitely could have slowed things up, but the way things are right now, it's literally just like... Well, okay. Because of that Earth 1 location, it's either going to be very fast, or it's going to take a while, because... Yeah, again, I could very easily see someone deciding, all right, I'm going to search sky, I'm going to search water, or sea, I'm going to search volcano, and then finally get to Earth.
I could see that, for sure. I know I would go to sky before I did water or... before I did sea or Earth, because I hate full clearing both of those places.
Yeah, pretty much. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and also volcano first as well, for sure.
Sonny found a Gurmadusa encounter. I think that was one of the trap tiles in Volcano.
It would have had to be.
Yeah, it's the fire tile. So, Sonny at least might have a good grind spot for his black belt, because it didn't look like those Gurmadusas had anything either.
Yeah, for sure. Those are great Medusas, alright. Yeah, they're hitting a whole lot for very little damage. So they, like, really have nothing.
Yeah, the biggest thing is it looks like they got a lot of health, so... it's not going to be easy to necessarily whittle them down with a black belt, but... it's at least an option. And options are important when you have this encounter table scramble. Meanwhile, Tristal clearing out the armory, probably going to find out about the Gurmadusa tile in a bit. Less imperative for him, but he might like it enough to give it a look-see.
I mean, with the three-man with the fighter, I wouldn't stick around to grind on them, but I'd fight a few. Or you could just go mode, fire. We know that this is this correct decision, but does Bristol know it?
I don't think so. You better not. Tristal, if you're listening to this outside of a VOD, you're cheating. And you should stop that, because that's not good. I would say that's very bad.
Like, maybe they're gonna check the lower ones and they're just skipping the armory for now? No? Or, yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing. They're just doing armory after they've done carry.
Tristal went ahead and did the armory. I don't think he bothered with all the little loose chests around there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a play I dislike. It's basically kind of a let's hit the denser locations first, and then if we have to sweep back, well, we have to sweep back, and if someone decided to make that play first, then, well, I'm betting that I'm willing to bet that they're going to win at that point.
Yeah, like it's something that'll save you time every time until it doesn't, in which case you have thrown the rain.
Yeah, but I mean that's how gambles tend to go. So I know that when I very rarely race, I tend to follow a similar strategy of just like, you know what, I'm not going to go through all these little out of the way chests. I'd rather plunge in, hit all the denser locations, and just cross my fingers that, I'm going to live or die on this.
Masamune in fire. In the back room on floor 4, I think?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, seeing as I cannot imagine Sani delaying equipping the Maza, and hello, 4 fire encounter in place of the gray worms. I missed that on Tristal's screen.
Mesa and defense in the same place.
So anyway, that's actually going to be really interesting, because if One Fine Day hits Ice before Volcano, he is almost certainly not picking either of those up.
Yeah, you're right. And oh hey, there's the TNT. Final list item is in Volcano.
Question chat, is this better trap treasure? It is. So I guess that is a possibility then, that if One Fine Day doesn't feel properly equipped, he might opt to check those trap tiles, but I don't know. That one's...
It's one of the out of the way ones. I can't imagine that he's going to go all the way over there.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of comes down to, is he satisfied with the X-Cal, the Dragon Armor? Because he's going to pick that up here, and he's about to pick up Dragon Armor.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, he'll have a decent, like, cross-section of offense and defense on that night.
Oh, you know what? I wish he had gone to Ice before he came to Waterfall, though. Now he's probably gonna go into Sea now, and he's gonna full clear it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Now, the bright side to that is he might find the white shirt in there. And that would kind of negate a little bit of the pain if he does skip out on these chests in here on Agama.
That is true.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays this, but, like, at least the trip into Waterfall isn't a waste because of the stuff that's in those chests.
Yeah, and even with the unnecessary full clear that I think is coming, I feel like One Fine Day is in the lead here.
Yeah, now I think he still has a huge edge until someone else goes to Earth.
Yeah, that's exactly my thing.
Yeah, no, as long as he is the only one who's willing to make that Earth play, he has a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we do also have some runners who are off-stream, so it is entirely possible that, like, Silverfire or Edgeworth, who are both off-stream, or even Burt Reynolds, that's with a Z, folks, no relation, one of them might decide to also make that Earth play. So, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I imagine, like, how many people are in this race? 8? I have to imagine at least one other one will have probably checked Earth.
It looks like 9, but yeah. It's definitely one of those things. He might not be in the lead overall. Out of our on-stream runners, obviously, he has a huge advantage, but...
Checking Waterfall first. Have we seen Exit?
I don't know if we have. Yeah, I do agree Crab Cake's full clearing C is a big loss. But here's the thing. There's a good chance that everyone else is at least going to full clear one of C or Sky. So, in the grand scheme of things, he's really not losing too much in terms of anything else. And because he's been able to go fast in a few other places, yeah.
Yeah. And personally, I would prefer Sky over C. It has more boxes and it's a little bit faster to go through. But it seems pretty likely that at least, like you said, it seems likely that at least one or two other runners will do it.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why he's putting off the ice check as long as he has.
Maybe he forgot about it.
That's actually entirely possible. Chat, remind me to ask him about that later. Because I'm going to, think to myself, I should ask him about that later. But I don't actually write anything down. But y'all are very good about,
Oh, hey, where was Nuke?
Level 5. It was at level 5 in Melman.
Ah, okay.
Tragically on the same level as Lock 2, so we don't get to see Lock 2 strats today. Single tear flowing down my cheek.
Was Lock 2 out? Or was it the Black Mage only one?
Yeah, it was.
Black Wizard?
Oh, hey, we have a Sun Sword!
Oh! Well, I mean, I don't know that you...
Oh no, you don't need it!
it.
It just brightens my day to see it.
Yeah, well, it's the Sun Sword, that's what it does.
Exactly. See, you get me, Kalsu. That's what I like about you.
Note to whoa.
Ask about delaying Ice Cave later. Thank you, Danny, for your wonderful tracker notes, including the ones that are just reminding me about things. Tristal using warp strats to go ahead and collect a ribbon, a slab, and I do not believe he is going to do anything else in Ice Cave.
He hasn't found all the loose. Oh no, there's the exit, so you would be correct.
Okay, so I was at level 6. Good to know.
I feel like checking the rest of ice in that scenario is okay, but it's a fair gamble to make.
Well, Crabcakes is pointing out that the cockatrices had crack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's a better reason to get out of there.
Well, also, it's just one of those things, if you're gonna, if you're hunting for loose items, Ice Cave just... No.
I mean,
no.
It's less that you want to, and more that you're halfway there already anyway.
Then I'll just lose the race. If I can just hit the incentive chest and leave, I'm hitting the incentive chest, I'm leaving, and you know what? I might lose the race, but I win in morale.
I mean, that's very fair. I think I like going to ice early when I have warp.
Oh.
But...
Oh, that is a mean place for the power bonk to have been. That was bottom left on TFC floor in C Shrine.
Oh, no one is going to get that but 1-5.
Yeah, no one else is checking that box unless they are that desperate to avoid checking Earth.
Mm-hmm. One Fine Day did check the Crescent Moon room, though. It should definitely be an incentive. There is a lock room in almost every dungeon. They could just all be incentivized.
So anyway, y'all heard it here first. Kalsu Baloo is the real monster. Yes, Ribbit Finder, it is the Final Fantasy. Unless we roll another seed right after this, in which case it's the Pin Final Fantasy. That's how those work, right? You can just say Pin Final.
Pen Final.
Pin Final. New word. You heard it here first, folks.
the penultimate fantasy.
Penultimate is so 5 minutes ago. It's now pin final.
You know what? Either or.
But yeah, no, it is Final Fantasy, just a little bit mixed up, a little bit wacky. You know, purple dinosaurs in one corner.
Not that purple
No
dinosaur.
one
the
else
other
is
one.
doing anything wacky and mixed up right now, so I can't really get off of the purple dinosaur.
Yeah, not really. You know what? So except for
Oh, yeah, there we go. Purple dinosaur in one corner, in that same corner fast at level 7. Boom. Mixed up.
oh yeah, right. I forgot about that. We saw that earlier. Looks like Sonny is going to air, which makes sense.
Yeah,
All they need to do is check Earth 1, and then they will be in go mode. Just like One Fine Day only needs to check Ice to be in go mode.
Yeah, see, here's the difference. One Fine Day is likely to check ice sooner rather than later. Sony is not going to check Earth sooner rather than later.
That's fair. Like, I cannot imagine One Five Day, I have to imagine One 5 Day will do Ice after clearing out water.
Yeah, but it is one of those things. I think some of these players are going to have a long, long time before they actually get to Earth Cave.
You know, I think you're right. Personally, I would probably do Earth third from last. Earth is better to full clear than Seizure. So I would do it before Seizure. But I would definitely do Volcano and Air first.
Yeah. What was I going to say? We do have a question in chat, kind of while we're in a little bit of a lull, because these fights are going to take a bit before we see new chests in Air. How well Plando would work with the FF Randomizer. And we have actually had a few challenge seeds on our various discords that kind of explored that idea. And it can work. It's just one of those things where because there's so few things that you need and so few things that you want, it's a little bit hard to set things up in a way that makes it a puzzle necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot more mileage out of just letting the randomizer do its thing and seeing what kind of wonderful madness it creates. That being said, I have had situations where, like I said, those few times someone did attempt a Plando challenge seed, it did result in some really fun shenanigans. I think one time Falconic, one of our community members who is currently on hiatus, hopefully he'll come back someday, put like a ribbon and the Mazamune in a pair of chests right before Carry 2 in the final dungeon, which was incredibly...
Are there even boxes on that floor?
Yeah, no, there's 4 boxes on that floor.
No one ever will check those.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting note to keep in your back pocket. There are 2 chests right before you get to Carry 2 that are probably an extra, 20 steps to check at most. So it's one of those things, if you're still, looking for a power bonk or something, and you know it's loose, it's not the worst place to look.
I'll keep that in... You know what? Actually, no. I shouldn't lie. I will not keep that in mind. It's going to fall out of my head because I'm never going to check a box in Topher.
But yeah, in case you're wondering where those other 4 boxes come from in Short Topher, that's where they come from. Carry floor.
Sharknado Room is Zombie Dragon.
It's not the worst thing. I mean, it's still an unrunnable fight, but you've got enough Fire 3 casts.
Mm-hmm. It's good XP, though.
Yeah, it's good XP.
Although, come to think of it, the Great Sharks and Water Elementals might be more.
but they are guarding another ribbon,
Oh.
so...
You can't complain about that.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like... I feel like even with the time he's spending clearing out C, like, OFD chose the bellier if he thinks to do ice before full clearing sky. Question chat from FFS Zilla. What's the story behind Sawny's team names? The answer is...
Yeah, I'm not sure about the numbers. Tristel just has the names of the classes. One Fine Day has One Fine Meeting. Meme.
Meme.
And I don't recall what SVJ's names are.
I think his are actually just community member names.
Okay, well, I mean, to be fair, technically, so are One Fine Days.
Okay. Danny is far too useful to be associated with Dan. You take that back.
Danny is a community member.
Okay, yes, the white mage who is very useful. I'll allow it.
You see, though, you know which... If you look at One Fine Day, you know which one...
Hold on. We have St. Von Jester going for Earth Cave.
But he's going straight down. He's not checking floor 1.
He'll probably check that after he kills Lich.
He probably will, but it's still going to cost him time.
It depends on if he decides to check everything, or if he's just like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go murder a Lich, and then worry about the chests.
You know, that's a fair point. Also, SVJ has not picked up the loot yet.
Okay, he's not actually checking a single box right now. SVJ,
no,
what are you doing?
That's one box.
Okay, everyone checks that box. But yeah.
Ooh, Kraken 1. Do you think Kraken 1 will be mean? I mean, it is Kraken 1, but it is Kraken.
And Vorpal in the Sky Greed chests.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, it's one of those things, Kraken 1 is the one boss that's just like, you're either going to be mean, or you're going to be, a pushover, and...
Pushover.
Today it looks... Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Yeah. I might need to refresh real quick, because I think you're like 2 seconds ahead.
Oh. Okay, then. Yeah, like, most of the time, Kraken 1 is no big deal, but occasionally it just wrecks fate.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, is Kraken is either hit or miss.
Oh. What is that? Okay, we have Vanilla Warmech on. And Tristel is on the Bridge of Destiny.
Well, I've already gotten what I want out of the Bridge of Destiny, so, y'all can bless RNG all you want.
What did you want out of the Bridge of Destiny?
The R Hydra fight.
Okay, you know, that's fair. That's very fair.
Because the thing is if patrolling Warmech is on, I get what I want. If required Warmech is on, I get what I want. If Warmech is just Warmech, I get what I want. It's about setting your expectations.
You know, fair. But also, I have seen people get across the Bridge of Destiny with 0 encounters.
Yes, but then no one's happy, so it's okay.
I cannot argue with that logic. So, Tristel did not full clear air, did they? They've been up here for a while. I think they did a lot of the checks, but I don't think they did all of them.
Yeah, he definitely didn't do Sky 2, and he might have only done the greed chests in Sky 3.
Sawny is full clearing air. Tristel has not found the crown, so they're just gambling that it's not up there. I mean, they're right, but that feels like a big gamble.
I mean, it's a gamble that I think. So, I'm not as good as Crystal. Also, OFD is in ice, so
Oh,
he
hey.
will be in go mode shortly. But my thinking a lot of times with stuff like that is, okay, if I skip these chests, odds are good almost everyone else is going to skip these chests. So I'm not actually losing time on anyone by skipping them, because we're all going to have to come back and check these chests, because none of us want to.
Okay, so with something like the back end of Armory, I think that logic pulls up. I don't think it's so great when you're looking at, like, floor 2 or 3 of air. Because it takes so long to even get up there.
Yeah, but it is one of those things where it's also really annoying.
Driscoll has Red Mage and Black
And
Mage.
I'm lazy.
They have plenty of warp. They can do it the fast way.
But lazy.
Look,
Also, just
sometimes lazy means you don't want to do something twice.
Also, just hopping back in chat real quick, the question has been raised, are my expectations low? And to that I say, my fiance's in chat, you can just ask her.
Oh, I don't know that I would have said that.
See, here's the thing. If the roles were reversed, she would have said the exact same thing. So,
Well,
you know what?
Well, I'm glad to hear you have such a rock-solid relationship.
I'm firmly of the opinion that every solid relationship is built upon self-deprecating humor.
I guess if it works, it works.
So for the kids at home, don't ever listen to me on literally anything. Don't ask me to set for flag settings. Don't ask me for relationship advice, and don't ask me about history, because I'm gonna just talk your ear off on that front.
Huh. 1-5 Day is doing Volcano now. They picked up the slab. They've seen all of loose items. No, they haven't seen the TNT, but they don't need the TNT. So
Yeah, no, they're in go mode. They are. They look at that routing. They check
they are.
No, they checked 2 free chests and they're gone.
Yeah, I just saw the greed checks and I wasn't sure if they were greeting or if they were just skipping everything. No, you're right. They're going full go mode. We're not going to quite have it in under an hour, but we're not going to be too far off from that. It looks like.
But yeah, so yeah, OFD of our on-stream runners is probably going to be the first one to hit go mode. I admit I kind of lost track of what St. Von Jester's doing. Did he actually check Earth 1? Because I don't think he actually checked Earth 1.
He did not. Oh no. Oh, that is really rough.
It's really rough, because that guarantees that's the last place he's going to look now.
Mm-hmm. And those are super quick.
Yeah, but they're also annoying. Like, you really are underestimating how annoying a lot of the things people are skipping are, and how much happier you are when you skip them. And yes, it might cost you the race, but you're winning at life by not deliberately choosing to do that to yourself.
Well, some people have different priorities.
Yes, but that's what makes this community wonderful, is the ability for all of us to come together and recognize that sometimes people just make weird decisions for no discernible reason.
That is so very true. There are all sorts of motivations in this community. and odd decision making. Sometimes odd decision making is the correct decision making. Like Tristal blazing through air. But sometimes it is not. Like SVJ skipping Earth 1.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to just point one thing out. Looking just at the tracker right here around the hour mark, we have had a really, really interesting seed in terms of just the sheer quantity of routes that everyone has been able to take. Because right now, we have 4 runners who've taken completely different routes through the game, and if it weren't for that crown on Earth 1, they'd be neck and neck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One fine day has to know he's in go mode. He knows that that slab leads to the chime.
Yeah.
So he's going to turn that in when he gets over to the tower.
Mm-hmm. And like, even if you misread the seed, you would still come to that conclusion because he has 3 items left and 2 of them are fetch items. So like, no matter how you read that, if you look at what's left, it has to be the chime. And everyone's favorite vampire cosplayer is dead.
So, question chat, why is crown required? In this flag set, we have turned off randomizing the fetch quest NPCs. So, the NPCs involved in the crown quest, the NPCs, basically any NPC you bring an item to and get something out of. None of them are randomized. So, Astos is always going to give you the crystal in exchange for the crown. The crystal is always going to lead to the herb. The herb is always going to lead to the elf prince giving you the key. So, and because the key is required to progress in Temple of Fiends Revisited, you must pick up the key.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you must get the crown.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, since the canal was free in this seed, the TNT can only be traded in for a measly cabin. Meaning it is basically a useless item.
Yeah, Crabcake's pointing out something in chat. Tristal, because of the skips he's opted to make, is actually not too terribly far behind One Fine Day in terms of clearing things. It's gonna basically come down to when he decides to check those chests on Earth 1 as to how far behind he's going to be getting into Temple of Fiends. And actually, if he checks Earth 1 early enough, he's going to beat One Fine Day in, because OFD still has to go do Sky.
It looks like he's checking Mermaid.
It does look like he's... Yeah, no, he got back to the airship and then had a moment of, wait, am I actually going to go check Earth before Mermaids? And his answer was, no, I'm not. I'm going to go check Mermaids.
Which I feel is the correct routing decision.
Yeah,
if not the fastest one.
No, this is the correct play.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you do not have perfect knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going purely off, I know my progression is loose, this is the correct play.
Which is a very interesting thing about this seed, I think. As there is quite a large divergence between the correct play and the perfect knowledge play. Much more so than there often is.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're seeing so much variety in routing right now, is because there's so many good plays you can make, and it turns out that the worst possible play is the one that you should take.
Oh no. Sonny is doing Earth last.
Yeah, but again, that's... in almost every instance, that's the right move. Like,
I actually disagree with that, because Earth is faster to full clear than water.
Yeah, but you're full clearing for, let's see, 5 chests on 1, 6 chests on 2, 4 chests on 3, so that's 15... 23 chests versus how many chests in water? And almost all of those chests require you to fight a trap tile if you're going through Earth.
I feel like it's not fair to count the mermaid chests, though. Water's really two different places. It's mermaids and the rest of water. And comparing Earth to water proper, I think it's a pretty comparable number.
Yeah, but the thing is you're not having to do any map movement to get both sides of sea.
You know what? That's fair.
Like the thing is the time you're spending getting back to that other set of chests. Like if Tristal hadn't decided to walk back to his airship before going, wait, and he's gonna get the power bunk out of this, so this isn't the worst thing for him either.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're not wrong. I just hate full clearing water.
Yeah, and the thing is a lot of people hate full clearing Earth.
I mean, I also hate full clearing Earth, but I hate full clearing water more.
And that's the kind of the beauty to me of Final Fantasy Randomizer is, for those of you who haven't joined us on the Discord yet, if someone could drop the link in chat real quick while we're talking about this, if you go and look at any discussion of routing, there's really not a right answer a lot of the time. Like, there are better answers and worse answers, but you're very rarely going to bump into something where it's just like, yeah, everyone agrees, you should always make this play in these circumstances, because you're always going to you have the people who are just like, the time you lose in making this gamble balances out with the time you gain in not making this gamble. And you have the people who are just like, the time you lose if you make this play and it turns out gambling was the right move is balanced out because, you're still making progression in other ways, or you're still gaining experience in other ways. Mm-hmm. And so you oftentimes do have situations where it's just, there's no right answer. Speaking of right answers, though, Tristal's checking Earth 1 first.
Oh yeah, I was about to say it. Tristal's doing it. They're going to be in go mode. Not there, though. The other one. What did I want to say, though? Yeah, like, despite all the things I'm saying here, I know I personally am a very, very conservative player. I want to avoid doubling back to a place as my number one priority. And usually that works pretty well for, like, a middle-of-the-road time, but it is not enough if you want to be first place. And these racers all want to be first, especially Tristan.
Oh, absolutely. And also One Fine Day. Like, both of them are some of the most competitive people in this community. And yeah, the ideal, just to kind of address what chat's been saying while we've been kind of yapping about this, the ideal is you don't ever have to backtrack. Does the randomizer give you that choice? A lot of times, yes. A lot of times you can manage to kind of avoid having to double dip locations. And sometimes you can't.
And sometimes taking the risk is faster. Quite often, in fact.
But yeah, right now we have a foot race. Tristal is go mode Earth Cave. One Fine Day is already on Sky 4. So I think right now it's safe to say, unless he picks up a Warmech fight, OFD is going to be the first one in Temple of Fiends. Tristal is going to be probably 2 or 3 minutes behind him, if that much.
I would have to agree. I think this will come down to Topher between the two of them, out of the on-screen runners. Oh, there's Warmech!
I'm not claiming the commentator's curse. Everyone in this room wanted the Warmech.
First hit killed the healer. Got away with the fighter, but fighters...
Fortunately, that knight knows life too, so everything is fine. Nothing bad happened.
It was a close thing.
And this is why Life 2 at level 2 is the strongest spell.
Like, that knight took a hit as well. What was that? Like 450 damage?
Look, dragon armor. Dragon armor is if I still have dragon armor, I'm checking chests.
Mm-hmm.
For crap like that is why I look.
Yeah, like without dragon or maybe opal armor, the knight probably wouldn't have survived that.
Yes, but see, opal armor sucks. So
Opal armor has the same defense as.
Yes, but it doesn't have that cool dragon print on the side that lets you know that me and my fedora are both awesome here in 2002.
Look, you're right, but the war mech was just beating him up. It didn't matter. Both would have worked.
Shh. Anyway, shoutouts to One Fine Day getting his heals in order before we head into the Temple of Fiends Revisited at 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 27 seconds.
I do love it when I see that because, to be honest, like it took me a while to internalize getting my heals in order, and it's a beautiful thing when.
And then Meridian went and made a flag to just automate that and put heals at the top all the time.
Yeah, but it's not on beta yet.
Oh, I actually forgot. Tristle's got to make the quick run around, so that's gonna probably put him close to the 3-minute mark in getting into Topher.
But Topher is full of unrunnables, so anything could still happen.
Oh yeah, no, there is Temple of Fiends Revisited more than I think a lot of other games with. Well, as far as Randomizer goes, I think Dragon Warrior Randomizer is probably the only other game whose final dungeon can so radically swing a seed, depending on how RNG treats you.
Yeah, and that's even when the encounter table or the unrunnable table is randomized. Because the thing with Final Fantasy 1 is that the final dungeon is heavily loaded with unrunnable encounters. The whole place is designed to grind down your party. Which is a big deal in a seed like this.
Yeah. So basically, for those of you who haven't really gotten to watch too much Final Fantasy Randomizer, there are 3 things that make Topher a greater equalizer than something like GT, even in a fairly vanilla seed. The first is just the sheer types of enemies that you're running into. Like Hasu's saying, a lot of them are unrunnable fights. But second of all, a lot of them are end-game enemies. They are enemies that you don't want to see before a certain point. But third of all, you still have to get through the 4 fiend refights.
Yeah.
And those are nasty. They have a bunch of powerful spells. Their stats can be hilariously painful, and they have a ridiculous amount of resistances to spells. So it's very easy to wind up in a situation where something like Kraken 2 or Tiamat 2 we call them gatekeepers.
Especially Kraken 2. Not Leech, though. Never Leech. Leech is always free.
Okay. Hi, my name is Woat. Last year during the spring tournament, I had 2 different seeds where Lich had turn 1 nuke.
You heard what I said. Leech is always free.
I hate everybody, but especially Dangwoo.
If Leech has turn 1 nuke, then that just means you weren't going fast enough. You should have killed him before he got up the nuke.
Hi, Dang. I'm not bitter over you quacking Nuke Lich while I had to fight him like 4 times. That's a lie. I'm still bitter about it. It's been almost a year.
The other thing, of course, is generally speaking, the more enemy formations there are, the more dangerous it is. As with enemy scripts randomized, the more there are, the more likely you'll run into something dangerous. At high levels, that's less true than at low levels, but these are still endgame enemies. So it means if they're sticking around in battle, they can potentially do a lot to hurt you.
Yeah, like that was the problem with the Lich I'm talking about, is he had more than vanilla health, so I couldn't kill him before the nuke came out.
Oh, you know what? One Fun Day never found the Masamune.
No, he didn't. But he does have that power bonk, and Excal's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is good enough. I'm not going to be upset going into Topher with those.
Yeah, he's got Excal. He's got a temper.
It is another chance, though, for the other races to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, like, Tristal definitely has the better loadout, overall. Right now, basically what One Fine Day needs is to either not see something that Tristal does, or to not hit any roadblocks. Because Tristal probably is better equipped to get through a roadblock than OFD is. Mm-hmm. But OFD still has the floor advantage. He's going to be on water before Tristal hits Lich 2.
If only just.
Now, Tristal, I would point out, does have a lot of experience dealing with Trolley Temple of Fiends Revisited. For those of you who didn't watch last year, our most recent spring tournament, there's a seed we like to refer to as the Gurmedusas of Doom. Because the Gurmedusa was, I think, 3 to 4 encounters in a row on Earthfloor, and they had instant kill touch and blaze as their first skill.
And they hit 10 times.
Yeah, they did. Tristal's opponent, Will Cleosis, wound up going out and grinding to like level 45 or something like that to have the magic defense necessary to just tank through it. Tristal didn't. Tristal sat there and figured out the encounter table for Temple of Fiends Revisited and just routed out the Gurmedusas. And if you... It's posted in the Discord. If you have any interest in learning the sheer difference in how to overcome an obstacle like that, that's a seed worth watching. Just for that part, because it's 2 completely different strategies, and both of them were the correct move.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time, and an educational one.
It's extremely educational. But speaking of roadblocks, though, OFD is about to come up on Kraken 2 here in a minute, and this is potentially the first major hurdle. Carry 2 can sometimes be a major hurdle, just because she does still get a lot of hits, and she has stupidly good magic defense. But Kraken 2 is the first place you're almost certain to see something nasty.
Throwing up the Dan shield, but didn't move Dan to the back row. So betting on the dragon armor being able to tank anything that Kraken throws at them, which, you know, it's...
That was 10 hits for 1244. And I know that black belt has been dead the whole time, and so has nothing in terms of defense, but it's not a great start.
I mean, I think the knight would have survived. Clearly not anyone else. Oh, Kraken 2 has some life.
Yeah, but fortunately that armor and those 2 casts of Invis 2 are doing work right now. Okay, he is through, and because he has that knight, that white mage is fine. That white mage was always fine. It was always going to be fine.
Yeah, having life 2 on your knight is like easy.
Now, I didn't actually see where that Invis 2 was. Someone in chat happened to catch if that was white mage locked or not, because that actually might come into play for Tristal.
Level 7. Or level 6 or 7.
It wasn't level 7. Level 7 was Ruse in the... Well, it could have been level 7, because level 7 for the Red Wizard was Ruse for White Magic.
I mean, like, I only saw it for a fraction of a second. It was either level 6 or level 7. So, I think both of those are free to Red Mage, except for the one spell. Except for the exit slot.
At level 7, Red Mage only gets the first slot in On-Rack. At level 6...
that's for Black Magic.
No. Black Magic, it's Gaia. Remember, for Red Wizards, On-Rack might be black, but it's not.
No, what I meant was... I thought that Red Wizard got all of the White Mage level 7 spells. I guess not.
No. It's level 6. Red Wizard gets all but the top slot of White Magic, and that Tier 2 was a pushover.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Okay, thank you, Washed Up. So, yeah, we were both right. Invis 2 was an on-rack. As was Ruse. So,
okay, then.
So, that actually could come into play for Tristal, because that means he's got to hope that Kraken 2 doesn't swing for the knight first.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of swinging at the knight, we have Chaos up on OFD's side, and he is getting those Invis 2s out as quick as he can. He is tempering up. We are watching that Black Belt die a horrifying death.
As Dan was meant to do.
Yeah, I think he's out of Invis 2s, but he still has
Yeah.
Invises he can throw on that knight.
That's exactly okay. Chaos throwing out the XXXX would have worked on the Black Mage. Oh, hey, we have... Wait.
Just hold on just 1 second on that. Let's let OFD finish up. Yeah, no, he is about to hit Chaos really hard. That's been like 4 rounds of tempering and bonking. And that was 7 hits for, I think, 797 or something like that. Which, with an Excalibur, that's not bad. Especially with weapon fixes on. And that was 8 for 899. And now you can say it, Kalsu.
With an official SRL time of 1 hour and 19 minutes and 54 seconds.
OFD finishes in first place overall.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Tristal is through that Kraken 2 barrier. So, he'll probably be wrapping up here soon.
Yeah, it's looking like Tristal might be second place.
Yeah, well, we'll see here in a minute. Let's see if OFD is going to join us for an interview or not. But in the meantime, so I looked away to do that, and yeah. So Sonny looks like he's finally going to get his crown at least.
Well, better late than never. Oh, hey, class upgrade.
Question chat, who are the other runners off stream? We'll wait for Tristal to get through Chaos, and then we'll talk about who else is there. So, OFD will be joining us shortly. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure that you can assume that that crown's in Earth 1 based on OFD's finishing time, because there's a lot of places it could have been. Now, in Sonny's case, he has to know it's in Earth Cave, because he's looked everywhere else.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, and OFD should be hopping up soon to talk to us. And I do remember about Ice Cave. I remembered that without looking at Danny's notes.
Huh. There was a Agama trap tile in Earth.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly where that was. Could have been Hall of Giants. I doubt it, because there's no reason to walk into the Hall of Giants at this point if you're Sonny, but... Okay, it was just that trap chest in front of those other two chests. Okay, thank you, Crab Cakes. That was the Earth tile. And OFD has joined us. GG, one fine day.
Thanks.
Alright, so right off the top of my head, 2 questions. 1, what possessed you to check Earth 1 first? And 2, why did you avoid Ice Cave as long as you did?
Okay, so Earth Cave, I felt I was behind, and I wanted to just take a gamble on the loose item being in Earth. And then when I saw the crown there, I was like, just Abe Simpsoned out of there, and did the crown chests and all that. As for the second one, why did I avoid Ice Cave? I like to put off Ice Cave sometimes, just so in case it's like one item left and the item's in that incentive spot, I can check the incentive item, and if it's there, I can just warp out, and I don't have to check the bottom of Earth. I don't have to check the bottom of Ice. So that's why I did that. I also miscounted my items. I thought there was one more loose than there was. Or maybe there was one loose that I didn't find. Let me see the...
It was TNT on Agama floor.
Yeah.
Oh, the TNT is in the incentive pool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the TNT doesn't do anything, so...
Well, it gives you a very important cabin.
No, the TNT actually gives you the TNT, right?
TNT leads to canal, but because you guys got the canal for free, it's just a cabin.
Oh yeah, Narek gives the cabin. Yeah, I actually changed that in the late... spoiler, I kind of did some stuff with the development side of this, and in this situation where the canal is free, it actually would take the TNT out of the incentive pool in the latest alpha.
Good to know. So Tristal just got the crap zapped out of him.
Yeah. Did the Black Belt have a pro ring?
Probably not, because why would you put jewelry on a carpet?
Look, it still is new.
Yeah, so, for the record, one fine day,
if I can just pause you for a moment, Tristal has finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 47 seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead and get those GGs and chat for Tristal. I'm sure he'll be along in a minute. But yeah, so Defense and Mazza were both in the northwest corner of Agama floor. You're basically the only person who didn't find it, because you're the only person who just was able to go mode volcano.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, no one else made that Earth gamble. And the only reason Tristal was as close behind you as he was is because he skipped out on a lot of checks in Sky. Even though he did full clear sea.
Yeah. He skipped out at probably half of the chests in Sky. And then he checked Earth 1 immediately and went
I checked everything in Sky. I mean, I checked nothing in Sky.
Yeah, nah, like, it's one of those things, you finding that crown as early as you did, I mean, you know that gave you, a huge advantage once you found it, because no one checks Earth that early.
Yeah, I must not have been playing very good at all, because
no.
Tristal checked all that. If Tristal checked all that and was only like 2 minutes behind me going into Topher,
Tristal was playing his eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that volcano play stupidly early, so he had that Maz and that defense almost the entire seed.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, it's not that you played poorly one fine day. No, you played ridiculously well. It's just Tristal was also playing his mind off.
Oh, I definitely have to go back and watch this later, because, yeah, seeing Tristal at his best, that's something to behold.
Oh, yeah. Now, like, you both played this seed, because I think once I saw, like, you find that crown, and we had that early floater, I think I called for, like, Topher entry around the hour mark.
Yeah.
So you guys pretty much played the seed as well as you could. And Tristal has joined us in chat. Let's see if he actually, like, accepts his invite and comes to join us here in the Discord. Also, Edgeworth has come in third with a time of 1:28:07. So, yeah, it's one of those things, like, this was definitely a seed where you either needed to make all of your other checks really fast or just have made that Earth play. And let's... yeah, I'll look into that. It looks like Tristal is not getting an invite at the moment, but we can fix that. Yeah, in the meantime, St. Von Jester made the play to check everything in Earth except the first floor.
Oh, yeah.
And he is now checking a lot of other things that aren't Earth 1. Because there's a lot of things that aren't Earth 1 that he didn't do.
Well, the thing about the Earth play early, the problem isn't so much that the chests are so far apart, because most of them, they're on the way to Lich. I mean, that's not a problem. The problem usually with early Earth is that you're taking it at a very low level, and you have to stop and heal, stop and heal, stop and heal. Whereas if you take it late, you can just bulldoze through it, and not, you don't even go into the menu once. So I think the early Earth play isn't as bad as it seems. And I had good armor for that stage of the game. I think I had the gold bracelet at that point.
Gold bracelet was about 7k in Cornelia, so you're probably dead.
Yeah, I forget. I think I did ordeals. I had enough money for a pro ring and the 2 gold bracelets, and I decided, oh, why not do early Earth? Because I was going to do early Seed, but I didn't. I had to go back and get the gold bracelets, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And it completely paid off for you.
Yeah, we're working on trying to get Tristal in here.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, looks like Sawney is about to make his entry into Topher, and yeah, I was going to say, just get your bless his hearts out in chat for SVJ.
Looks like going to EarthNet, so it shouldn't be too much longer for SVJ either.
All right, that's good. So that we might have another little bit of a race here on the other end. Now that I'm looking at.
Yeah, we definitely could. Sonny is a little bit ahead in this race, but only a little bit.
Yeah, no, SVJ is about to find the crown. He's going to immediately back out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he'll be about probably a minute and a half at most behind Sonny getting in.
Mm-hmm. And then, what level is Sonny at?
Both of them have got to be in the high 20s. With as many checks as they've made in the higher level dungeons, there's no way they aren't already, like, high 20s, if not low 30.
I'm just thinking, like, Sonny is the only one who did 4-man and kept the black belt out of our stream runners.
Yeah, I did not catch a glimpse of the numbers, but looking at their HP values, that's about right. He's sitting in the mid to upper 20s, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what that looks like. Actually, I would say high 20s with 299 on a black mage.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Also, until we can get Tristal in here to talk to us, Feel free to ask him questions about the Seed or Magic the Gathering in chat. Several people have already taken advantage of doing so. And SVJ, it looks like, decided to try and take the herb to the Elven Clinic before remembering that the prince has his own doctor. I mean, okay, look, in all fairness, you know the elf prince needs medicine. You go with what, the common folk do before you think about royalty.
I mean, where the heck is SVJ going?
He's probably picking up spells for his night.
He wants to get life too.
Yes, and if we've learned anything in this seed, thank you, OFD, for this lesson. It is to, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Get life 2 on your night.
Yep.
Because sometimes Warbeck just decides he doesn't like you anymore.
Having double life 2 is highly advised.
But yeah, SVJ has picked up that night life 2, so...
And also shopped for more healing potions, it looks like. I think SVJ thought that the gold was in Pirate Town, is what actually happened there.
So there are a couple of people also asking about some of the things we've talked about earlier. If you come join us on the Discord, you can find all of the clips of exciting things that have happened. Or Crabcakes will just link you the actual thing because she likes undermining me.
And you can also find, the Discord, a list of terrible seeds that are so much better to watch than this. I mean, no, this actually has been a really great seed to watch. But if you want to see a runner suffer, there are seeds for that.
Yeah, so in the meantime, since we're still having some issues with getting Tristal in here, for the benefit of the VOD on YouTube, his main comments about the seed in general were that he deliberately didn't encounter Manip going into Topher to try and duck some of the unrunnables. And he did manage to avoid worms and gas Ds. As far as time losses go, he felt like his overworld travel was an issue.
I feel like that's a little rough on himself. I feel like his overworld travel was really quite good.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like some people are never happy, Kalsu, and that gets back to what we were discussing earlier. Mm-hmm. Yes, you wind up spending way longer looking for that crown, but on the other hand, you don't have to do Earth early.
You know what? That's very fair. Doing Earth early is one of those things where you don't realize just how bad it is until you start playing the randomizer, and then you realize it's awful.
Yeah. Really, kids, the lesson you should be taking away from this entire seed is don't apply yourself. It just makes you miserable.
No, take a shortcut to get ahead, and then go deal with the stuff you skipped over after the fact.
Alright, so we just saw a glimpse on St. Von Jester's side. He is sitting in the low 30s on at least his night.
Yeah,
I still haven't really gotten a good look at Sonny's levels, but he's probably not too far below.
Sonny, you're too good at menuing. It makes it very hard to see what you're doing.
Yeah, I know. This whole community had... Where did you find the white shirt?
You know what? Sonny basically full cleared everything.
Or that might have just been in Viz 2 and I was seeing things, but...
And you say that, but I assure you, my menuing is slow enough that you can read what I'm doing. For good or for ill. be inviting him. Yeah, so it looks like, do you think we'll see a Kraken upset this time? There's potential for it.
There is. In the meantime, though, we have a 4th place finisher. Mr. Burt Reynolds has finished in 4th place at 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 5 seconds. Okay, Dangwoo with the knowledge that that white shirt was in Earth 2.
Okay, then. Yeah,
Left side.
I think Shawnee is literally the only one who checked Earth 2. Because SVJ skipped over 2. And full cleared everything but Earth 2, basically.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, at least he's got plenty of nice gear.
Yeah.
3rd place went to Edgeworth.
Mm-hmm.
Just answer a quick question in chat. So anyway, Sonny is on Kraken, and if he's packing a white shirt and Invis 2, this is
Okay,
okay, this is possibly going to be a problem.
Is hit the White Wizard.
Well, at this point, yes.
Okay, that was 500 damage. And Kraken has mad crazy absorb.
Yeah. Now we do know. I think Kraken's sitting on about 1,000 HP.
Oh, there goes the Black Mage to a zap.
All right, everyone, get your bless RNGs out in chat. That Kraken forgets how much he likes white wizards.
Terminated.
All right. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer, where we're way more threatened by a squid than the, like, time-traveling master of all evil.
Look, Garland would break the time loop, but he's just too dedicated to being evil.
I mean, look, I respect the hustle, alright? You know, he puts in a lot of work to make sure that he gets to live forever, and, you know, I respect that. That being
like,
said...
He spells it out plain as day right at the end when you talk to him. You have read that, right?
I haven't read any of the dialogue in this game in like 2 years.
That's fair. But no, he spells it right out, how all he needs to do to break the time loop is to beat the Light Warriors as Garland in the present. But actually all he needs to do is not kidnap the damn princess, then he'll never become Chaos in the first place.
Well, yes, but then he never gets to do the thing. Okay, look. Thinking about how time travel works in Final Fantasy is like trying to think about how time travel works in...
No. The time loop's actually very straightforward, as these things go. I could explain it all to you, but I feel like this is not the platform to do so. But hey, look, Sonny is on Chaos.
Yeah. He should be fine. I don't think we saw anything out of Chaos aside from, like, that zap.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of hoping Chaos has, like, a nuclear hidden in there somewhere. It's possible, but other than that, you're right. Sonny's probably going to get through here without too much trouble. Oh, but we also have Kraken coming up. That could be a fun fight.
Yeah. Sorry, still,
Oh yeah, no. So, technical difficulty is the way to put it.
Well, in any case, Sonny's done.
Mm-hmm. Finished in 5th place with a time of 1:45:57. And Kraken has not done anything to SVJ.
Well, except it looks like beat the ever-loving crap out of it.
Oh.
Was his fighter not wearing a ribbon? Because that looked like either he got 3 and 256 or his fighter wasn't wearing a ribbon.
SVJ had 2 ribbons, I think, so he might have put them on both of his red mages.
All right, folks. Here's the lesson there. Yes, I know that they can cast Life 2. You still put that ribbon on the man who's swinging a Maza.
Mm-hmm. What is better than casting Life 2 is casting Life 2 and also having a mask.
But why use a Maza when you can punch?
Also, Danny 3883 just realized that we could just copy the Discord invite that we received and send that to Tristal. So, yeah. Good. GG, Sawney.
This is the level of professionalism you can expect here. We have a 6th place finish for Silverfire.
Yep, 143.52. Yeah, we just want to keep y'all in suspense. So, yeah, we've got Sawney and Tristal in here now. GG to both of y'all.
GG's.
So, needless to say, can y'all guess how One Fine Day finished as quickly as he did? Besides just being really good at the video game?
2-man party.
No, he just went to Earth first.
Yeah.
I was gonna go 2-man though.
2-man
Yeah.
was my other guess. Or was my first guess. Earth was my second guess, because the crown being there definitely led Flute.
Out of the people on stream, all but one of you went Strat. And all of you killed your black belts, because of course you did.
Yeah, I'm new to these newfangled 3.0 settings, but I still don't think I'm gonna trust in a black belt here.
This is a completely fair thing to reason through.
I mean, like, in this seed, the knight is amazing anyway, because level 1 life, level 2 life 2.
I mean, even beyond that, what I fear most is the random spike tiles and not having a suitable black belt grind guaranteed somewhere, not able to plan for it as nicely. So that's what I'm fearing most out of a black belt grind.
Yeah.
I suppose that's fair.
Also, Saint Von Jester opting to go for Vorpal strats on his knight.
Yeah, he gave the Massa to one of his red mages, and also he used the Bane Sword with his...
Okay, what else are you going to do with that black belt?
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not doing anything else with him.
You might roll the 3... You might roll a 3. Or 2.
Where was the Bane Sword, by the way? Because I did not find it.
I have no idea.
I don't know
Look,
either.
Do you know how many chests you people checked this seed?
A lot.
You people who aren't named One
Not
Fine
as
Day?
many as other people, I imagine.
You probably checked less than I did. I'm trying to remember where the Bane Sword was off the top of my head.
Notably, I skipped Sky. That's the big one I skipped. I skipped parts of Volcano as well.
I think it was in Volcano.
SVJ full cleared almost everything.
Yeah, he went to Earth, didn't do Earth 1.
Didn't do Earth 2. Started clearing Earth 3. Then when he eventually came back to Earth, he checked Earth 1, got the crown, and basically the only place he didn't clear was Earth.
Yeah, well, he just hit Chaos for 6 hits and 1,500 plus damage.
And
But that's good.
that's an
Go
8th
ahead.
place finish. With 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 50 seconds.
All right, we're going to get him in here, and then we're going to have a powwow with all 4 of you, because I, for one, enjoy not being able to hear anyone. And I know chat does, too. Now, you guys are generally pretty good at actually, like, taking turns, which is nice. It's always good when people take turns. That's been an issue in my Starfinder campaign every other Tuesday.
We just want to hear your lovely voice as much as possible.
Oh, well, thank you, Tristal. But you have a lovely voice, too. You all have lovely voices. You out in chat have lovely voices, too. But speaking of lovely sounds, here is half of Team Poison Sound Effects himself, St. Von Jester, GG.
So the lesson of the day is make sure you go up in ordeals and then do not orphan chests.
When you go back and watch the VOD, you will be able to hear Kausu and I's hearts breaking when we realize that you abandoned Earth 1.
Yeah, I knew I was behind because of the ordeals play, because, you know, I was very upset. And so I finally got out of that. I knew I was totally behind, so I was like, I'm just going to go mode everything and pray that the that the robot had not the ruby, and sure enough, he gave me a rock. So, so I decided I was just kind of going by chest density, and yeah. Then I went around the horn, and there it was. I was like, oh. So, but I still had fun. So
That's the important thing.
Yeah, no, we've talked very extensively about the need to have fun. Now, y'all put on a heck of a show, all around. Like, Tristal and One Fine Day, pretty much hit Topher at the same time, and then Sonny, you and St. Von Jester were right on each other's heels getting into Temple of Fiends. So, yeah, no, it was an exciting race pretty much on all sides. No dang, I'm not going to commentate Tetris.
He's turning the block. He attempted to turn.
He's doing level 18 in classic Tetris. That is exciting, but we're here for Final Fantasy.
Boom!
And-
Tetris for dang.
And you know what else? Actually, there was very nearly a upset right at the end because of Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken hit pretty hard, and he destroyed my floor mat, and so I was just like, okay. Then he rubbed out my knight, which made me nervous.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, question on that. Did you forget to move your ribbon to your knight?
Yes.
At least you're honest.
I forgot to move the ribbon to the knight. I was like, well,
So,
I was going to. I decided that I decided to put all my feet, both my feet and my hands, and the rest of my body, into just nuking the out of Kraken, and so I did.
Yeah, fortunately. Sorry, Kausu. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because I noticed you didn't not move your ribbon to your knight after Kraken either.
No. I did it for Tiamat though. I was like, he needs a ribbon, and I'm glad I did, because he.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say, Saint Von Jester, your equipment decision when you got to Chaos did not go unremarked upon.
Hello.
Well, yes. No. It wasn't a negative comment.
I know. To be fair, I almost threw the moss on the ground, and then I heard all the people like, "Don't do it," so I didn't do it. So.
I mean, it was one of those things. You did the next best thing and put it on the red mage, who was almost certainly going to die first, who ironically survived the fight.
Yeah, because Jean dies, and Jean should die all the time. So, and Jean died at the end, so it's a win for me.
Tristal in chat pointing out that one of the ordeals pillars is actually we're testing out a new flag today, creating a combo randomizer of Final Fantasy 1 and Tetris, and the connector is an ordeal.
Yeah, I was so mad at that ordeals. I kept missing the one. I was like, down. I was like, I need to go up. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, no,
That's 15 minutes gone.
We could feel the tilt when at one point you got warped back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you guys, like I said, you guys put on a very entertaining race all around, and what I liked about these flags is it didn't feel like you were being hamstrung. It might have just been the fact that the seed opened up so quickly,
Yeah.
But
Oh, God.
yeah, all four of you basically took completely different routes to the game. Like, obviously, One Fine Day's route was very different from everyone else's, but the other three of you all picked, like, kind of different approaches. Like, Tristal made an early play to Waterfall and then came back for C later. I think SVJ or Sawney, one of you went to Sky earlier rather than later, and like at one point it was like, yeah, all four of you have made completely different decisions, but you're all still relatively close together.
I mean, yeah, it was just I wasn't comfortable going to Marsh right away, and so I decided I went to Castle Ordeals first to get the levels, and it worked out, provided I took the right path. But all in all, like I said, hopefully I caught up a lot quicker than usual after I got that crown. I just kind of sped through everything. So.
Yeah, like it's one of those things, y'all, a lot of the time difference just came down to which chests you didn't clear. Like Tristal skipped a good number of chests in Sky, although he did noticeably not skip chests in C.
I did skip one chest in C, the first floor on the left, which made me pause a little bit. I actually was super confused about how many loose items there were, because it's been so long since I've done one of these. I didn't know. I forgot that bridge sort of didn't count. So I thought once I found TNT, I was done. And then I was counting in my head as we went along. I'm like, wait, I need the rod and the slab and the crown still? How is that possible? There's only still Ice and Ordeal left to go. What did I miss? In my head, just over and over and over again. I'm like, well, there's just got to be an extra loose item somewhere. And if I've already skipped it, then, I'm not going to do very well this race. So here's hoping the Triss luck kicks in.
I can understand that problem, though. It is actually pretty unusual for us to run seeds that have 3 loose items. Usually it is 2 or way more.
Yeah, it's been a long time since a 3-run seed, so... I mean, like I said, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now, one thing, because I guess we should go ahead and start wrapping up, but one thing I did want to kind of call out is I believe these flags were based off of Silverfire's proposal for the spring tournament, at least the Swiss round. So if anyone watching or any of y'all running have thoughts on what could be tweaked to make this a more exciting flag set for our spring tournament in a few months, do feel free to mention that, because we are trying to figure out what to do with those. And I believe that Silverfire's suggestion is at least one that is getting a lot of consideration on the back end. So, by all means,
these are nice flags. These are great flags. It's just like I said. Had I known that, I'm actually going to write that down just in case I come up with these flags again.
Oh, you're going to see flags like this again.
I'm sure I am.
And again, if anyone enjoyed watching this seed, or enjoyed Final Fantasy Randomizer in general, and would like to join us in the Discord, come join us in the Discord, because we got the band back together, for those of you who didn't know already, and we're looking for more people to come hang out with us, come learn this stupidly complicated game that sometimes just decides you're going to spend an extra 20 minutes trying to find someone's hat. But anyway, let's go ahead and get some final thoughts from everyone. One Fine Day, let's start with you and just kind of go down in finishing order.
Nothing comes to mind for me. Good game, everybody.
Okay, Tristal, what about you?
As for the flag set, I thought it was entertaining enough. I don't know exactly, if you're gonna get early floater, airship, how quickly that's all gonna go, or if you're gonna need to get, down and dirty in Marsh Cave a lot more often, or that sort of thing. There's some tweaks to be done for sure, I think, but this is a pretty good starting point. The race itself was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I did it for sure. So, GG to everybody, and I hope I can do a few more of these in the coming weeks.
All right, Sonny, your thoughts?
So the flags themselves were fun. For the first time in who knows how long that I've actually been on one of these, I finally finished a race. I was a little salty about some of the stuff that happened, though the early pop grind did end up helping a lot, just because of Warp being level 4, amassing X charges. I think I had 4, maybe 5. By the time I actually went to dive ice, that helped a lot. 3 loose, always a good number of loose. 2 or more loose definitely adds a bit of variation to how each seed is going to play out. And Kraken 2, you were eating your Wheaties today. Props to you.
All right, and Saint Von Jester, what about you?
Again, make sure you know how many loose you're looking at here, because, like I said, the moral of the story is do not orphan chests, and it was fun. You know, I was tilted obviously in Castle Ordeals because I forgot to go up, and but you know, I enjoy this game despite all the tiltiness, despite all the salt, despite all the swearing and cursing and all the things I do. You know, that's why I like talking.
That's why we don't ever use your audio.
No, unless I know for a fact. But that's just that point. But it's a fun game, guys, and definitely come join us. It's a blast. We have a great community and great players. We teach, we help, we talk, we learn, and you're going to see a lot more seeds, a lot of great seeds from a lot of people coming up here for the spring tourney coming up here in 2020. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Kalsu, what about you?
This was a great seed to watch, and honestly, I think a great seed for me to get used to casting. Randomizer, that is, because as we said at the beginning, I have totally done this before. I'm glad that I got to watch you play this, because first of all, you did so much better than I would have done. And because it was really exciting. We got some really divergent routing, and it was great.
Yeah, I was happy to do this with you. You're fun to have in the booth, and I hope we get to hear you a lot more coming up in the next little while. And yeah, so for my part, thanks again to our trackers for today, Buckshot Boo 24 and Danny 3883. If they want to raise their hands in chat, there we go. Thank you, Buckshot. I forgot that was a command we can use. So yeah, if you enjoyed any of this, feel free to follow all those names that are linked right there, because all of them are awesome. And some of them are even handsome. Other than that, thanks again to Speed Gaming for having us here. Thanks for helping us with all of the minor technical anomalies that accompanied us existing. And thanks to the Final Fantasy Randomizer community for being awesome in chat. So I think that'll do it for us here. Y'all have a good night, and
good night.
There's probably some stuff happening on Speed Gaming too, maybe? I know that I saw that on the schedule, but I don't know if that's still going, but whatever. You'll get sent somewhere good. So, otherwise, have a good evening, y'all. Join the Discord.
Bye.